tetap setia menjaga. Kau berkorban tanpa suara demi senyum yang lain. Saat semua tertidur, kau terjaga sepanjang waktu. Lupakan lelah ragamu demi raga yang lain. Dunia telah tersenyum melihat kau bertaruh nyawa. Tak pedulikan yang kau punya demi raga yang lain. Engkau pahlawan dunia, Tuhan yang kan membalas semua jerih lelah yang tak ternilai demi raga yang lain.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Abdul Rajik bin Rajail, and with my friends we present the video presentation about COVID-19 impact to economy and fiscal responses to Malaysia. So please watch this video until it's over. Thank you.
The first case of novel coronavirus was reported in Wuhan, China in December 2019. Early cases were believed to be linked to a live animal market in Wuhan and have since been spreading from person to person. Shortly after, cases of the virus began to appear outside of China. On January 30th, the World Health Organization declared the outbreak a public health emergency of international concern.
More cases should be expected in other parts of China and possibly other countries.
Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses, named for their shape, protruding spikes that look like a crown or a corona. SARS and MERS are part of the coronavirus family, as well as viruses that cause the common cold. The 2019 novel coronavirus was officially named COVID-19 on February 11th by the World Health Organization. WHO said on February 27th that COVID-19 has pandemic potential.
This virus does not respect borders.
COVID-19 can cause flu-like symptoms that range from mild to severe, including cough, fever, and shortness of breath. Since the infection can include symptoms similar to pneumonia, influenza, and the common cold, only a diagnostic test can confirm whether or not an individual is positive for the virus. Thousands of people have died around the world.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I would like to present economic impact of the COVID-19 in Malaysia. The Malaysia microeconomy as well as on the economy fare well of the rakyat have the main sources of the economy damage in Malaysia. Have a two-fold. The first fault is the lock-on effect from the impact of the coronavirus about, and the second fault is a limited movement measure. And my point to the effect in the economies have a two. First, global supply chain are disrupted because the global supply chain are disrupted. For the example, like Malaysia want to export and import the product to the other country, but the other country can allowable the item income or limited the item income and cannot allowable the item income because the COVID-19 is very dangerous virus. So, and my last point is the impact on the private consumption in the business investment have life change, which means the private consumption change their life because the business investment can be a lower income to their person or individual, because the individual need to pay the loan to the bank and make the payment in the on time on the month. And the effect from the lowest income, the individual can be bankrupt because they cannot pay the payment to the bank. That's all for my point for the effect of the economy to the effect of economy because the COVID-19. Thank you so much.
The 20 billion stimulus package announced in February is a good start, and already contain many of the measures proposed here. But in light of the recent development and the severity of the crisis, there is a sense that the package can be much larger. Indeed, when the February stimulus package was announced, there were 23 confirmed cases of COVID-19. At time of writing, there are now 1,792 confirmed cases, a 78-fold increase. For comparison, the stimulus package unveiled during the global financial crisis in 2008 and 2009 amount to 67 billion or 8.4% of GDP, more than 3 times larger than planned 20 billion, only about 1.4% of GDP. As such, many analysts note that there is urgent need for the second add-on package, especially if movement control are extended to strengthen and broaden many of the initiatives in the February stimulus package. Broadly, Malaysian economic policy response to the coronavirus pandemic should comprise 2 separate stages. Stage 1 measures should be implemented when quarantine partial lockdown measures are imposed to safeguard the income and liquidity of affected business and individuals. Stage 2 measures should comprise a heavy fiscal stimulus component and should implement as soon as the outbreak shows signs of subsiding and movement control are lifted. And now talking about the stage 1 measure, safeguarding and employment and livelihood. Stage 1 measures should primarily involve supporting the welfare of the rakyat through the income and liquidity support. For worker forced to take unpaid leave, also newly announced employment retention program is a great start. Nevertheless, as Stephen Christopher Chong from Cardinal Research Institute has noted, the current ERP amount of 600 is broadly insufficient, constituting only 26% of the median wage using 2018 data. Instead, incentivizing employees to keep paying workers via conditional credit line for large firms via matching wage assistance policy are needed. Outside of the labor force, direct cash flow support via BSH should be increased to reach low-income households may not be formally employed or are unable to work. Similar to ERP, current plan under the fiscal stimulus package to increase annual BSH payment by only 1,050 per household will be inadequate, representing only about a 10% increase compared to normal BSH annual benefit. Here, a one-off increase in the BSH transfer amount for the poorest household would enable community to purchase necessities during the movement control. Now we are explaining on the stage 2 measure, supercharging economic activity. Subsequently, once the pandemic has passed its peak and movement control are lifted, stage 2 measure need to kick in immediately. Stage 2 measure can complement stage 1 measure by adding in expansionary component with the primary aim of helping the business and individual bounce back. Economy policy should now shift gear to focus on boosting the economy via proactive fiscal stimulus. Stage 2 measures should encompass an expansion to the main proposal contained in the government earlier 20 billion planned fiscal stimulus package, including measures to increase infrastructure spending and broaden personal tax relief. In general, past experience suggests that successful fiscal stimulus should consist of multi-pronged approach in one single package, from the immediate term to longer term. For the immediate term, a simple one-time cash injection to every nation, structured as a fully refundable lump sum tax rebate, would put money in the hand of the riot almost immediately, rapidly kick-starting aggregate demand. Now then, I will pass the self-reflection to our next member.
I will explain on the conclusion. For starters, it will be costly. Government budget deficit targets will need to be overshot. Difficulty decision will need to be made later on how to boost tax revenue. Additionally, intense amount of political determination will be required. Some policy responses may require the circumvention or amendment of certain laws via a special or emergency parliamentary session. Government borrowing to fund operational expenditures and restriction via the Employment Insurance System Act. There will be a huge financial pressure on banking sector demanding action for our monetary policy makers. Some amount of job losses and business closure will be unavoidable, yet the economic, social and political cost of inaction or even insufficient action is far greater and far more frightening. Many countries has been hit with similar economic problem or even worse. In the US, the second estimation of GDP growth shows it coming in at plus 0.2%, much slower than Malaysia plus 0.7%. At the time of writing, the total number of US workers applying for jobless benefit had reached more than 40 million. Again, this catastrophic global development BNM has been very aggressive and timely in its policy movement support the struggling economy. Over the consecutive monetary policy commitment meeting, it had cut its overnight policy rate by a total of 70 basic points to 2.0%. It all reduced by SRR ratio to 2.0 in March from 3.0 to support liquidity in the financial system.
Saat semua menghilang, kau tetap setia menjaga. Kau berkorban tanpa suara demi senyum yang lain. Saat semua tertidur, kau terjaga sepanjang waktu. Lupakan lelah ragamu demi raga yang lain. Dunia telah tersenyum melihat kau bertahan. tak pedulikan yang kau punya demi raga yang lain. Engkau pahlawan